Seems to me that there are sometimes in life where things just seem to fall into place. There's a sense of things feeling effortless, they have like their own momentum, that the universe is on my side. Everything's just kind of happening the way that it should do. And then there are times where it feels like nothing is going right, that everything is falling apart. And that, yeah, maybe it's a sign from the universe or from whoever that you should be taking a step back and letting something go. And I have I don't know if they're conflicting views, but maybe some nuanced views around this. That there's a sense of me of tracking these kind of periods in life and at the same time holding them lightly. So I think everything in life has a sense of ebb and flow. Like everything is, especially in nature, everything is inherently cyclical. There are periods of growth and expansion, and there are periods of shedding, pruning, composting, and restoring. And learning to move with those periods, to not fight them, I think can be really important. And at the same time, I think it can also be easy to kind of to take those periods in life personally, and to allow them to dictate how you feel and what action you're going to take in the world. And so this is where, for me, it gets kind of like a little bit nuanced. That absolutely, when things feel like they're flowing well and easily, I absolutely want to take advantage of that. Like that for me feels like this sort of like spring summer phase where I want to lean in and yeah, move with that current, take advantage of perhaps being able to move more quickly down the river. And then there are times where it feels like nothing's going right and I just want to throw it all up in the air and walk away and quit. And like this is where the nuance comes in, right? Because sometimes I think that is absolutely the right thing to do. Maybe not to quit, but to use those kind of feelings, that resistance, that sort of the awkwardness that can kind of start to come in a phase like that, to take a step back and to reevaluate. And there are other times where I need to hold myself in some tender discipline, and I kind of need to show up anyway. Because one of the things about these sort of natural ebbs and flows in life is I don't know how long they're going to last for. And, I definitely can't afford in all sorts of ways in life to step back for months at a time, even weeks at a time. So I also need to be able to hold myself, be resilient in the face of things feeling harder or not working exactly the way that I want them to. And to be clear, I am not advocating for pushing through at all costs. I say there's this like nuance here, that for me is really only coming with trial and error, and noticing that my personal tendency is to push through more than perhaps I could do, that I could step back more in the face of some of those challenges, allow myself to soften, and inevitably the challenges kind of things often start to resolve of their own accord. Not all the time, but sometimes. Um, for you, it might be different. Maybe you're somebody who needs to cultivate more tenacity and staying power in the face of things feeling difficult. So yeah, I'm sort of sat with the both and of wanting to be responsive to life and also not wanting to have my own sense of fulfillment or stability be completely dependent on the world being a particular way. Um, and there's something for me here about like how personally I take this. Like it's, in the way that my kind of cognitive biases kick in, because when things are going well, it's really easy to be in gratitude and to focus on all of the things that are going well. So I get kind of confirmation bias, right? Like, yes, great, everything's going well. And even the things that feel challenging, I could kind of like rationalize into this. Yeah, but the universe has got my back. And well, if you knew me, you'd know that that's not something I would ever say. I don't think the universe is either benevolent or malevolent. Like, I don't think it gives a shit about this teeny tiny microscopic speck that is my life. I think it's pretty benign, or ambivalent at best. Anyway, um, yeah, so when things are going well, I can get confirmation bias that way. When things start to go wrong, I get confirmation bias the other way. And suddenly it's like everything is going wrong. And so every time, even the smallest thing doesn't quite work out, it fits this narrative that everything's going wrong and all the rest of it. So either way, whether things are going well or things are hard, for me, there is something really important about being able to not get attached to the stories, to be in that place of, this too shall pass. And it reminds me of a uh, oh god, was it like a fable, um, that um, sense of like we shall see. So I can't remember how it starts, but there's a boy in the village and he finds a horse, and all of the villagers are like, "Oh my god, that's amazing! He has a horse." And the wise old man, it's like, "We shall see." And then the next day, the boy falls off the horse and breaks his leg. The villager's like, "Oh no, this is terrible." Wise old man is, "We shall see." And the next day, the army comes to the village and recruits all the young men, but the boy can't go because his leg is broken. And the villagers who remain like, "This is fantastic." And the wise old man is, "We shall see." Uh, so yeah, I want to offer the humility of not being so quick to kind of rush to judgment and sense making of what's going on in life. That even things that feel impossibly hard at the time, often many of us look back and say, "Wow, that was a really formative time of my life." Yeah, it was hard, and I developed so much resilience, or this opportunity came from it. Like we just don't know. Um, so yeah, this is where I hold the nuance of um, wanting to be responsive and to allow myself to ebb and flow with the currents of life. And at the same time, knowing that I never really know what those currents are and where they're taking me. And therefore wanting to stay in my own agency, to hold myself in tender discipline, and to be asking myself, well, given this is the situation in life that I'm facing right now, what is mine to do? How might I lean into that and allow that to guide me? So yeah, I'm curious how this lands for you. If you'd like to share your experience, your reflections, comments in the comments below. I'd really love to hear from you. Uh, thanks so much. See you next time.